Out of that be confusing even as an artist because I'm looking at you like, man, this man is doing it. He has like all this, and then I try to imitate it,
And
but
it is
I imitate it at a horrible.
Sit down, we had our shares, but we would still perform. Knew you longer than I did, and part of me is missing. I ain't even gonna pretend this shit is wild different. First to spot Illuminati, you had in your time. And never bit your tongue was ill when you spit it in rhyme. Static sent me the track, that was you showing me signs. It sent chills down my spine, I felt the vibes. You challenged the world, told truth to power.
This is K100 Radio, giving you the best hip hop and R&B mixes.
In 3, 2, 1.
It's street anthems, bitch. Hey,
come on.
Music certified by the streets.
This your man DJ Will Money. Catch my mix show Street Anthems live right here on this station. I'm playing the hottest hip hop and R&B music. I'm also showing love to all the independent artists with the Indie Spotlight segment. So tune in to your favorite station right here. Let's get it.
Hey yo,
Street Anthems live mix show.
yeah, keep it locked.
Get live with DJ Will Money.
MidwestMixtapes.com, the #1 website for Midwest rap. MidwestMixtapes.com. They promote and market albums, mixtapes, singles, and videos. MidwestMixtapes.com. They can get you on DJ conference calls, blogs, and email blasts. MidwestMixtapes.com. They work with several magazines, college radio campaigns, and street teams in multiple cities.
It's going down. Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio.
Let's get to it, fam. Shall we? Let's go.
You are tuned to K100
right.
Radio,
What
hip
up,
hop
though?
and R&B.
What's happening? You know the drill.
K100, you bastard.
What up, though? All right. K100 Radio, I'm your host, Blizzum. Thanks for tuning into the show. This is another one of our direct line interviews that we got over here at K100 Radio. This is where we just have a direct conversation with our special guest. Generally, of course, you know, if you watch our broadcast and you follow us, then you know we really mostly rock out with the music community, all right? And today we're doing another direct line interview. We're rocking out with the homie SUPEONA, all right? Now, of course, you know, whenever we get with some of our interviews, we meet people that we bring on the air a lot of different ways. Sometimes, you know, they find us and they ask us for an interview and we work it out. Sometimes we be at events live or something like that. But for the most part, we sponsor a lot of different events. And sometimes when artists, independent artists come and they rock those events, then, you know, we say, hey, we'll bring them on K100 Radio because they did their thing and they put on, and, you know, this is an effect of the grind, right? So right now we're gonna bring SUPEONA on the air. Hey, yo, SUPEONA, what's good, fam?
What's up, man? What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, man. Welcome to the broadcast. All right, for sure. All right. So I'm going to let you go ahead and give your formal introduction. Tell everybody who we rock with, man. Your first time on K100 Radio, fam. You got it.
Yeah, man. What's up, man? My name's SUPEONA. You know, born and raised in the ATL. Grew up in the 4th Ward, Boulevard, right downtown, you know, Auburn Avenue, Edgewood Avenue, right down the street from Martin Luther King House. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing music for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and grinding, working hard. You know, I started from the small little clubs, the hole in the walls, and just grinded, you know what I'm saying, and stayed down, stayed consistent. And I came across Making It magazine while I was networking out here in the street, and they turned me on to the I Lounge.
Right.
And in the I Lounge, I learned that they was doing the bouts with the sound capsule bouts every month, and there I started meeting more people, networking with other dope artists. You know, I met people like you, and being involved in the championship. Eventually, I was able to win #1, and here we are. You know what I'm saying?
And we're going to rock out, and that's just it's that simple, right? It's all a part of the grind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
So let me ask you this. You said you're this is your hometown. We, of course, you know, K100 Radio, we're based in Atlanta, Georgia. But you know, of course, being in this city, if you don't know anything about Atlanta, Georgia, there's a lot of people in Atlanta that ain't from Atlanta, right? That wasn't born and raised here, but what we call transplants. But you born and raised homegrown right there in the Fourth Ward. So tell us what it was like growing up in Atlanta, and give me the difference about what you feel about Atlanta now that you out here doing your thing as an artist, as opposed to how it was growing up in Atlanta. Give me a little bit of the differences real quick, if you don't mind.
Well, you know, me growing up in Atlanta, that's when we had the projects up. We had Dixie Hill, Herndon Homes, Harry Homes, Perry Homes. You know, the old Atlanta make this Atlanta look like Martha's Vineyard to me. To me, it's like Martha's Vineyard. You know what I mean? It's like a vacation resort now. But back in the day, you know, you didn't see, you know, interracial couples walking their dogs 12 o'clock at night on the west side. Me personally, when I was younger, you know, my mom, you know, she let her boyfriend put me out when I was young. My mom and my family, they disappeared for like 10 years.
Wow.
I didn't know where they were, and I stayed with some family. It really wasn't. The family I lived with wasn't too inviting.
Right.
So I eventually became homeless. I was homeless for 3 years. You know, rode the MARTA train all day, slept in Woodruff Park. You know, shot for my clothes out the garbage. But you know, eventually my mom came back, family reunited, and you know, through that struggle, you know, I learned how real life was, how hard life was. You know, how ugly it could be. It ain't no fairy tale, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it made me strong, and I took that struggle and I made it my bitch. You know what I'm saying? I made it my own, and I was able to grow and overcome that, and I put that in my music. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear my music, you hear lyrics, you hear real stories. You know, it's gonna be gritty. It's gonna be abrasive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. Now you said a couple of things I want to kind of circle back on and spin the block on and talk about. Like, for instance, you talked about the fact that you were homeless. All right, and you know, I kind of sort of can, not the same level, like sleeping in parks level, but I do have a similar story where, you know, I got into it with my folks and was put out at a young age. I was 15. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, hit the streets and started getting into a lot of different things. And everything that you go through at that particular point in your life, people don't understand, even 30 years later, still kind of like affects you. You know what I'm saying? Because it just changes your kind of worldview about everything, about people once you go through it. Now, not saying that people can't change and people's views don't change the more you grow up and get older and wiser and you get traveled a little bit, hopefully, and things change. But at the end of the day, those things can affect you for the long term. So going through something like that, right? And you said you see the new Atlanta, and you got, like you said, you got white people walking their dogs at midnight on the west side, which is, again, I've been here since the 90s, and I know it wasn't like that when I got here. You know what I'm saying? Let alone, I'd have to be born and raised here. I've been here long enough in Atlanta to know that wasn't how it used to go down right over there, right? So you see all these changes. How do you feel that as an artist you need to take that same lesson and grow and maybe change some of the lyrics? Do you feel like your lyrics have grown and changed over the course of you being an artist? And matter of fact, how long have you actually been at it doing music?
I've been doing music for like at least 10 years. I laid off for a minute to get life together, but I started back up 2020, and when I hit the ground running. But I've been doing it for a minute. I've been writing since I was like 16 years old. But I've been pursuing music professionally for at least 10 years.
Okay. So with that being said, how do you feel that you kind of grown musically? Like, if you've been doing it for 10 years, I would assume that you had some changes, just like life kind of molded you. And I know that you said your music is going to be gritty because of everything that you went through. But have you seen any kind of changes in your music over these past 10 years since you started? You know what I'm saying? Since life maybe has probably gotten a little bit better for you? Do you feel like, you kind of obligated to kind of switch it up a little bit? Because obviously, you're not sleeping in parks and things like that now. You feel what I'm saying? Do you feel like your music should kind of grow and mature with that, along that line?
Well, I want yes and no. Like the maturity, in the delivery of the content and how you choose your words grow. your vocabulary grow, but I think you still want to tell your story, and you kind of like go back to those places, you take your mind back to those times. Because I mean, not only when I was homeless, I had to eat. So I started running with the homeboys in the street, and allegedly, it was like 5 or 6 kilos a week being dealt, allegedly in the neighborhood, and everybody was eating, and so I did have that phase in my life. So I get to talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I get to share my view on that also. So, and that's where that comes from. But at the same time, I do make different music because they're all people from all walks of life. And everybody, ain't in the trap. Everybody ain't, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? I make music for the lovers. I make music for the people who want to, feed their mind. So, yeah, I definitely have grown since then.
All right.
I mean, throughout my career.
So let me ask you this. Now, because you talked about like how Atlanta, the city, has changed. That's one conversation, and we all understand what gentrification is. I'm pretty sure most people listening to this particular broadcast, or just the term has been thrown around so much. If you ain't got to be a scholar to understand what gentrification is and what it means, and so we understand that there's been big parts of this city gentrified. But let's talk about the gentrification and the changing of the actual music, the kind of music that you was riding to. You feel me? When you was growing up, as opposed to the actual music that is coming out of Atlanta right now. Let's talk about the change in the way the industry and the music itself has evolved. Now, personally, I'll say this. I'll preface, the question with this. When I got here in the '90s, it was the era of LaFace and organized noise and all that, and the music was a lot more melodic. And then it hit the crunk era, then the snap era. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what necessarily to call this particular era we're in right now. I'll leave that to you. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk a bit about the evolution of the music scene and the music itself in Atlanta from somebody who's born and raised here. What do you think about it, and how has it changed to you?
I think we might be in this mumble rap auto tune phase. That's what I call it. But as far as what music is with Atlanta, like, I don't know, man. I think if it wasn't for Lil Baby, we might be in trouble. I don't know.
So you think it's that serious? You think so? Just so we clear, you think right now the only thing coming out of Atlanta that's really dope or worth just representing Atlanta, is Lil Baby? Like nobody else coming out of here is kind of like. Because I personally think there's some other ones that don't get to shine as Lil Baby. Like, I love J.I.D. He's from here. You feel what I'm saying? The kid that's on Dreamville. I feel like he's one of the, if not one of the best artists that's come out of this city in a long time. But he doesn't get that kind of shine like Lil Baby because he doesn't make those quote-unquote regular bangers. He's a much more verse lyricist, and he's on Dreamville with J. Cole. And so, the kind of music that come out of there ain't necessarily conducive, to everything that's getting played on radio or a club. But I feel like there's a lot of talent here, but you think only maybe a Lil Baby and maybe that's about it. That's where we at.
I appreciate the underground side of the ATL more than I do the mainstream side. Mainstream, I got love for the 1017 and 4PF and all these people that's still doing and representing Atlanta. It's still some good major artists making noise. But I think there are some underground artists that really need to, be given that platform so Atlanta can, have something fresh. Because I see it kind of dying down to me a little bit.
Okay. So I mean, I think that the industry, as far as just the music industry itself, has definitely not died down. This is still the spot, as far as I'm concerned. Atlanta is still the spot if we talking music. However, with the addition of Hollywood being here a lot more now, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of more people that are moving. It used to be people would come here and everybody that came here was just all about the music. Well, now you got the film people here now. You feel what I'm saying? And they're flocking here. And so it's like the music is like, okay, even though we all know music and film go hand in hand, you can't have a film without music. You can have a music without film, but you can't have a film without music. So they need the music industry. But it doesn't seem like, okay, that's the only thing here as far as entertainment. Now we've got the film industry here. So I just feel like, that's one big difference. The onset of Hollywood has brought more creators of film than it was just only music. So now everybody's here together. But I do feel like, I don't know. I'm definitely, of course, with me being K100 Radio and, I'm out here in the streets with these independent artists all the time and just, just having this platform kind of keeps me ear to the street. I definitely 100% can agree with you about, like, there's more the underground artists that are out here need to get more shine. I will raise my hand all day and say I actually know more dope indie artists that are actually quote unquote stars or however y'all want to deem that. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely 100% agree with you on the independent artist comment where you said like the independent artists are the ones that need to be getting the shine. I couldn't agree with you more on that. But what do you think, Subpoena? What do you think needs to happen for that to happen? What do you think in the industry that needs to change that would enable the independent artists that you feel are dope to get these bigger opportunities? What would you change if you just could have a magic wand outside of just making everybody listen to it? What do you think needs to happen for it to change?
I don't know. I think I would bring street teams back. I think social media. You know what I'm saying? I think artists need to be more in the street with the people more, and we done got lazy with the social media, and I think that could help with the shine and letting the people know what we got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you think social media has made people lazy? But I mean, don't you use social media yourself to right now, this whole interview, there are people watching via our social media platform, so I don't necessarily feel like I'm a fan of social media and what it's been able to do for independent artists, only because back when I very first started doing music myself as a creative, this platform didn't exist. Like nothing like independent radio or our conversation that we're having right now. Those opportunities weren't there, and pretty much all that stuff came from the onset of the digital age and social media. So I do agree that the difference between now and then is like everybody couldn't just come on here and just do anything because you had to have a bag behind you in order to get out here and afford to pay a street team and pay to get CDs printed up and all this other kind of stuff. So nobody could just roll over out of their bed, create a SoundCloud, and then or do a TikTok, and all of a sudden they're a star, and they got zero talent, like you know what I'm saying, like or no grind or no hustle. That is a big difference, and I'll agree with you on that. But I also would not take away social media, no way whatsoever. Like I love what social media brings to the game. It's just that it gets the oversaturation that comes with that ease. You know what I'm saying, of that technology. I don't know. I just think it's worth the payoff.
Well,
you know what I'm saying. What you think?
Well, no, I wouldn't take social media away either, but I would bring street team back. Mm-hmm. Like I think social media kind of killed that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that no more. You don't see the cats in the mall passing out the flyers and you know what I'm saying, flicking it up with the people, the posters, and you know what I'm saying, like, and you riding everywhere, you see them so much, it make you curious enough to look up the name. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think both. I think you need both. And I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard because like this the only genre. I mean, where you try to be the CEO, the artist, the videographer, the producer, and you lose sight of the artistry, and you trying to do all this stuff, and I think it's just too much. I think it's crazy how how much money you have in this genre determines like your level of success. Like it's the only genre, where it's like that, and I think a lot of that stuff need to change. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think that would help.
All right. Tonio Lavelle is over there watching on the Instagram live stream, and he says it's kind of redundant with the reach of the internet. I mean, I get that. I do. I understand that. It's like, and I think my main word will be kind of more so along the lines of like oversaturation. Is just so many people in the game because it's so much easier to create and put music out there initially. But one thing that hasn't changed is how much money you got to spend to really make it to that top level. You still got to have that big bag.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? To get to that. Unless, of course, something happens and you like, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you're like this one female artist out here right now, Scarlett. You heard of her? And she's going viral and stuff like that. And all of a sudden she's on Vlad. And, you know, you can get on one particular platform, a big platform like Vlad that has a lot of people that's been following it. Whatever you think about that platform or whatever you think about Vlad, is he the feds, blah, blah. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of that shit anyway. But still, no one can sit here unless you're a pure hater and deny the reach that he has. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you get on a platform like that and get one interview and all of a sudden everybody's talking about you. You going viral. You haven't even really done an album or a mixtape or nothing, and she hasn't. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, you have people, you know, the latest interview, which is, again, exposing how much education is being missed among the artists because she was asking for a $1 million advance, but didn't even understand what the hell an advance was. But that's another subject, you know what I'm saying, for another day. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't see that interview, you know what I'm saying, she's, you know, talking a lot about why she feel like she should get $1 million advance, and then, you know, the guy's coming back like, do you understand how this works? And she didn't, and I was just kind of just shook my head. Before I move on and get to the music, bro, like as an independent artist, what do you feel like is the best thing that's worked for you from a marketing standpoint, as far as getting yourself out there? Outside, of course, what you always doing, of course, how we met you in the streets. We met you out here on the grind at I Lounge. All right, we met you out here on the grind at I Lounge and saw you perform, and then we became sponsors of the Sound Capsule series, and then you rocked that stage. So, you know, what you're talking about as far as the street grind definitely is a credit to, you know, your grind and how you working, because I wouldn't know you if neither one of us was out in the streets. We didn't meet on the internet. You feel what I'm saying? But with that being said, what's been the best way outside of that, maybe, that you've been able to kind of reach people and get people to listen to your music and support you?
The independent distribution platforms like, you know, DistroKid, United Masters, things like that have helped me reach the masses more than just hitting the streets would. You know, that I think that's dope, where an artist can, you know, make a song, copyright it, and he can distribute the song himself, and it can be put on online stores. He can set up his publishing, and, you know, he can promote and market himself and possibly make money. I think that's dope. Yeah. So that's one of the biggest ways outside of that.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, time flies when we're talking, man. We got to jump into the music. 30 minutes goes by quick. This is K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
K100, you bastard.
We chopping it up with Subpoena. All right, yeah. And the homies had a tough go over early on. Dealt with homelessness. You know, even when my mom kicked me out, I was able to crash on people's couches. I never had to sleep, you know, in an open setting like that. I had friends and cousins and stuff who let me crash on their couch or whatever. So I never had to experience that. That's a whole nother level of homelessness, of like getting your clothes out of the trash. I was wearing my cousin's clothes that wasn't mine because my mama kicked me out and said, you ain't taking shit with you, because I paid for that. So I left with the shit on my back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I did have cousins that was letting me wear clothes and wear gear till I got my little hustle on or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, with that being said, you know, your music has a story to it and a storyline to it. And we got 2 records by you, bro. We got one called Dope Boy Lifestyle and Hustle for Mine. Now, which one of these you want me to play for the people right now on K100 Radio for the first time?
We can start off with the first one that I first released, and that's called Hustle for Mine. The video out on all platforms. It's on my Instagram page, _SUPEONA. And it's streaming on all platforms.
All right. So we're going to check this one out right now. This one's called Hustle for Mine. This is the homie Subpoena. All right, representing Atlanta. All right, let's get into it, man. This is K100 Radio. I'm your host, Blizzum. This is Subpoena. And he hustle for his. You hustle for yours. You hustle for mine. I don't know, but let's get to it.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
DJ Brad in the building. DJ Scotchy in the building. Scotchy, that boy P in the building. Say now we do it, nigga. We hustle for Doom. I hustle for mine, nigga. From the ATL, nigga, get this money, nigga. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. All day stacking that cash. 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 Nothing in my way, nothing gonna stop my shine. Even if I end up doing jail time, gotta get mine for the money, I'm selfish. On a private jet, kicking back, eating shellfish. Fuck with the money, you can get the weapon. Pull out the bankroll, leave with your girlfriend. Like a bank teller, I'm trying to fill up the vault. Now she got my dick in her jaw. $100 bills, what it cost. Niggas out here making deals with the raw. On a paper chase with the running with the shooters. I hustle for a mile, who gonna give it to you? If a man don't hustle, then he don't eat. You in the bed, but the rich never sleep. High price, nigga, we don't fuck with nothing cheap. Make sure it's about money when you speak. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. All day stacking that cash. 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 I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. All day stacking that cash. 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 Yeah. All day stacking that cash. All day packing the cash in the mattress. Fucking with the money you can end up missing. Now that fuck nigga is a mistress. For the hustle and the flow and the power, we going in like Henson and Howard. If you want it all, you can't be a coward. Neck and wrist wet like a shower. These niggas dried up like a towel. Pull up, got the haters looking sour. I can't stop no nigga, not at all. Until I got so much money that is stacked in the basement, stacked in the attic, stacked in my pocket, stacked in my drawers, stacked in the closet, stacked in the couch. So much money that is stacked in the wall. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. All day stacking that cash. 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 I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle. I hustle for mine. Hustle for mine. All day stacking that cash. All day stacking that cash. All day stacking that cash. All day stacking that cash.
It's going down.
Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio. You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
That was the homie SUPEONA. All right, hustle for mine. All day sticking that cash. All right, and I heard him rock that joint over there at Sound Capsule. He definitely went over there and he was killing it with that particular song. The people was feeling it, you know, and got him a lot of just really dope feedback and like, you know, just being in there and watching you perform that song live at Sound Capsule. Tell me what it's like real quick before we get into the next record. What it was like, you know, doing Sound Capsule, man. You know, rocking that stage, and you know, what do you feel about the actual way that it works? I really think it's unique the way they have it set up as far as doing the app and everything like that. They just really something different for me. That's why we decided to you know, to sponsor the event, you know, by doing interviews with some of the people that won over there, because I just like how it was set up. What you think about the real quick, tell us how you feel about Sound Capsule and what it was like to get that particular championship series bout win to get over here at K100 Radio, SUPEONA.
I mean, it was unreal. You know, it never really won nothing. So that in itself was dope. I do like the way they got it set up with the voting system. You know, people like you, they vote, they keep it. You know, they don't show no favoritism. Mm-hmm. And I like the way, you know, they don't try to, you know, dig too deep into the artist's pocket. You know what I'm saying? They're one of the most affordable events I've ever been to as an artist. Mm-hmm. But the networking, meeting new people, the people they bring in for artists to meet, is just dope. So yeah.
All right,
I really like the Sound Capsule experience.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes you feel like a superstar.
Right, definitely. All right, so we finna get ready and get into this next record. This one is called Dope Boy Lifestyle. I want you to tell me about this one before we hit play on this, man. What we finna get to? What we finna hear right now?
Dope Boy Lifestyle. The new single just dropped last April. You know what I'm saying? It's hot in the street. You know, everybody's feeling it. it's you know, it ain't really. It's kind of telling the story of when I was a dope boy, but you know, at the same time, I'm not living that life no more. But still, kind of that lifestyle. You know, I still got those kind of partners. You know, I still, you know, rock my clothes like that a little bit. You know, I still keep that pistol on me. You know what I mean? And you know, I got that mentality. So you know, with that, you know, still, I'm not in the game no more, but I still live that lifestyle. I got that dope boy lifestyle. So that's what it's about, man. You know what I'm saying? That's where that came from.
All right. Let's check it out, man. Once again, representing Atlanta. This is Subpoena representing that 4th Ward. Let's get into it, man. This is K100 Radio. I'm your host, Blizzum. Again, salute to the people over there, iLounge and Sound Capsule. Like I said, we came over there and we saw the homie rock the stage over there. He did it. He won the competition. And here we are right now bringing some of his music over here on K100 Radio for the first time and having a really dope conversation with him on this direct line interview. Make sure you download the K100 Radio app. It's free. Doesn't cost you a dime, all right? This is Dope Boy Lifestyle, Subpoena, K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
Subpoena style. This is my dope boys. Male or female, but dope. You got your own trap. This for you. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Pull up in the trap and count my dough. Dead fresh, head to toe. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Going on that cookie dough. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Making money by the hour. When my killers dealing powder. Still hang off in the slums. Can't forget where I'm from. The cops don't talk too blowing on them cookie crumbs. Push niggas still hating. Put the motherfucking money we still making. Fucking wallet boy, I keep a bankroll. Still stacking dope boy payroll. Head to toe rocking polo. Selling rocks in the ghetto. That wasn't so long ago. With my niggas on parole. I ruffle my day and night. Ain't no telling, I just might. Count my dough. Dead fresh, head to toe. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Going on that cookie dough. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. I still stop by the trap and holler at my dogs. They committed murders that ain't even been solved. I'm from the county jail to the state pen. I got up out that bitch and went right back again. I keep that thing loaded like a baked potato. I grew up with them dope boys. They taught me how to get the paper. In the trap daily where I was educated. Running with some killers that would leave you stinking. Count my dough. Dead fresh, head to toe. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Going on that cookie dough. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. I don't sell dope no more. Now I'm a family man. I still keep the pistol in my lap. Wheel still the size of a ceiling fan. This shit just in my blood. Still posted up in the hood. Getting high with my niggas. Still don't give a fuck, nigga. What the fuck you figure? I would change cause I'm richer. It don't matter how lavish. I got dope boy habits. Packing 9 million automatics. I go ham for the cabbage. Hustler forever, hoe. Tell her house and never count. Count my dough. Dead fresh, head to toe. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Going on that cookie dough. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Pull up in the trap and count my dough. Dead fresh, head to toe. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle. Going on that cookie dough. Check the pistol, keep it close. Cause I live a dope boy. Dope boy lifestyle.
It's going down.
Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio. You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
K100, you bastards!
And before we get ready to wrap things up, just a reminder, we rocking live right now with the homie Subpoena. And Subpoena, before we get ready to roll up out of here, fam, go ahead and give your people, they may be watching online or maybe listen to the replay on our Spotify podcast. All right, if you listen to us on Spotify right now, please hit subscribe. If you're watching the replay or if you're watching live on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subpoena, man, go ahead and give out your shout outs and everything, man, and then tell everybody where they can find your music, fam.
All right, man, I appreciate that. You know, first off, I want to say thank you for having me on your show. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the interview. And, I'm going to give shouts out to everybody at Sound Capsule, everybody at iLounge. You know what I'm saying? Miss D, my boy Omar, OG Dre, DeMello, King Man, Few Times 10, Ballman, everybody over there. HHF, everybody who showed me support. Mo Show Live, my boy DJ Brad, Legion of Doom, Hits on Fire DJs, DJ Chill Will, everybody that shows Supina love, shouts out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all is. Shouts out to my family, and most importantly, thank God.
Absolutely, man. Dope stuff, you feel me? For real. That's what's up. Hey, we there's been so many, it's kind of crazy because there's so many people that you named, that we've had over here on K100 Radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many of them. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, that place is definitely a hub. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to just, finding dope talent and having people come out consistently. Because one thing about Sound Capsule, you got to kind of keep showing up and be consistent if you want to actually take that prize home. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of pull up,
no doubt.
Yeah, like you said, they don't make it too hard on you, too hard on your pockets. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, because, everybody understands that independent artists have a lot of expenses. They got life expenses and then they got the grind. You know what I'm saying? And so, it always helps when somebody's kind of trying to understands that and comes up with a dope platform like that. So we got to salute them again, man. So one more time, man, before we go, Supina, tell them how to get that music, man, and give them your social media information.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at _SUPEONA, or you can just Google SUPEONA, for Supina. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Trap Files Entertainment. Just look up Trap Files as one word, Trap Files Entertainment. Also, if you want to link up and meet me in person, pull up Wednesdays. You might find me at iLounge, rocking out with K100, Sound Capsule, all my peoples.
All right, man. Good stuff, man. It was cool to have you on the air. I hope you, like you said, I hope you enjoyed the interview. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I feel like, we always love to make sure we show love and support and honor our word with everybody that we always try to get these interviews from over there at Sound Capsule. There's only been a couple of people that were supposed to get interviews with us and it didn't. And 10 out of 10 times, and that ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I say about that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for following protocol and making it easy for us to hook up and getting it done. All right, homie?
That's right. I appreciate that.
For sure. K1's Radio. And
I look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. And as we get ready to roll, matter of fact, you mentioned one artist that's been on over here before. We'll end it with another Sound Capsule artist. We'll play this Mr. DeMello, Bounce Back, before we get ready to ride out into the sunset. This is K1's Radio. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right. Also, make sure, if you are listening to this on our Spotify podcast, it shows up on our Spotify podcast after the fact. Make sure you check over there and hit follow. We have a ton of great interviews from independent artists over there on our Spotify podcast. Also, we're also a podcast on YouTube. So we're a podcast on YouTube with the interviews, but also we do the live shows and Illa Kill and all the other stuff that we got going on. We've got a couple of more shows that we're going to probably be adding over here at K100 Radio real soon. There's going to be in regular on-air rotation. A couple more, really just talk segments, podcast type / radio shows that we're going to be adding to the fray on K100 Radio. So be on the lookout for that. Just want to remind you guys, also check out some of the music aspects of some of the things that I do. I just directed a really dope video last night for an artist named Vision out of Florida. Shout out to Our Studios. They came over there with their camera crew and lighting crew, and they were, really, really dope. So if, looking to shoot a video or something, I would suggest you get with them. But yeah, be on the lookout for all the other stuff that we got going on, man. But right now, we getting ready to bounce back with Mr. DeMello. Download the K100 Radio app. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime, and we're live 24/7. K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
I'ma bounce back. Bigger, better things, baby, I'm about that. Even if it's a loss, I'ma get it right back. I'm coming through the front, or I'ma go around. Either way, baby, I'ma bounce back. Bigger, better things, baby, I'm about that. Even Even if it's a loss, I'ma get it right back. I'm coming through the front, I'ma go around. Either way, baby, I'ma bounce back. Yo, what's your motivation? What gets you going in the morning for the creation? Trying to get it rolling, ain't worry about these ovations. Only thing I need to be knowing's a little patience. Ain't trying to miss a step. I studied and I prepped. I did everything that I needed to pass the test. He tried to count me out, said I wasn't a threat. But now I'm in your face like who cutting the check? Who coming to rap? Who coming with next? No time for lames, no time for stress. They talk a good game, but too scared to step. They walk with no brain and don't make any sense, so I'm on them. And see, I trying to kick me